Hi there and welcome to a new episode of We Need to Talk. My name is Norman and today we need to talk about the principle of clear is kind, unclear is unkind, a phrase coined by Brené Brown. In one of my workshops we talked about how leaders need to conduct themselves to be most effective. How do we delegate? How do we have difficult conversations with team members? How do we best give feedback? There's a difference between being direct and being clear. Let's look at directness versus clarity. When we are direct, we do not spend time on niceties or diplomacy. We make things as clear as possible in the shortest possible time. Orders, as in the military or maybe the emergency services, are usually given in a direct way, and it makes sense. When we are clear, we allow more time for diplomacy and we align expectations to make sure everyone fully understands. We try to understand before making ourselves understood, and we rely on facts and first-hand encounters. Are leaders afraid of clarity? Surveys seem to suggest that that is indeed the case. Leaders seem to be worried that clarity means they might step on people's toes, or it makes them appear unfriendly. It might raise conflict in the workplace and within the team. It might trigger pushback or repercussions from employees and colleagues. It might be something they lack the skills for. It might be off limits because company culture calls for harmony to cultivate a modern image. Maybe it's not their strong suit and they have a personal tendency to avoid possible conflict. And they might feel it makes them appear weak and vulnerable, so they try to avoid it. We know that the opposite is the case. It might leave us vulnerable, but according to Brené Brown, vulnerability is the foundation of courage. Brown defines vulnerability as uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. It involves stepping into situations without guarantees of success or safety. Acts of bravery inherently involve risk, whether it's the risk of failure, rejection, or emotional pain. Vulnerability, therefore, is not just part of courage, it is courage. Being brave often means showing up as your true self, even when it feels uncomfortable or risky. This authenticity involves vulnerability because it exposes who you are to the judgment of others. Being clear might also mean that leaders ask for help, admit mistakes, share ideas rather than keeping them to themselves. These are inherently vulnerable acts, yet they are also some of the most courageous. Brown studies show that people who demonstrate true courage, whether in leadership, relationships or personal growth, embrace vulnerability. They don't shy away from the discomfort of putting themselves out there. I think modern leaders need to find the courage to be clear. In the corporate world, being clear is not easy and requires a high level of self-leadership, skill and perseverance. Ultimately, clarity in life will always be preferable to not knowing what's going on. Feeding people half-truths or bullshit to make them feel better, which is almost always about making ourselves feel better, is unkind. Brené Brown said that, not me, smart woman. So be clear, be kind, no bullshit. It gets easier after a while. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Give us a like if you did, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again soon.